Hi there, Felipe here, once again, your favorite crazy creative designer from Germany. Thank you for being here. Thank you for taking a look at the channel. And if you do find some value from it, do hit the like button, the subscribe. Check out my other videos. I talk about creative design, being a better entrepreneur, being a better designer, and maybe you can find some value from that or from this video itself. So yeah, means the world to me. So today I wanted to do a little or a short episode, but I wanted to I wanted to demonstrate how to create a very small, very tiny, very sweet little micro interaction that makes a difference in terms of conversions, especially on e-commerce websites, that is easy to implement on Webflow and that you can probably do it yourself after watching it once or twice, but that really adds like a little touch of little sprinkle of magic to your website, to your projects, and it is something you can integrate into especially e-commerce projects, but also other ones depending on the usage. But yeah, I think it's going to be helpful, and it puts a smile on people's faces. So let's take a peek at that. I'm going to share the screen, so I hope you can see my screen now. Let me show you first how the interaction looks like, and then I'm going to show you exactly how to build it. So this is something I'm working on. And if I go down, you can see the add to cart button, the A2C here and the A2C here. And if I click on that, voila, you get like a little, like a little sweetness. There you go. Like the party head, it just moves and it creates, it fires up once. We can set it to loop, but but that's rather annoying. So it's just a little reinforcement when the customer clicks on the add to cart button, because we're kind of rewarding them for it, like Pavlov's dog, indeed. So so let's take a peek at how it's built and how we can actually build it and recycle it. So let me open the project here. Right, so okay, here we go. So let's see if it's working already, just to confirm. Preview. There you go, and then we can, hold on, one more try. There you go. So we can click on, there you go, add to cart, fantastic. So there are many ways to build this. I'm going to show you probably the easiest way. That's using Lottie animations, which are basically JSON animations, if you're new to Webflow, which you can create and export on or via Adobe After Effects. But there are also websites that sell animations, or they even have some free animations like Lottie files that you can download and you can upload them to Webflow. And the cool thing is, Lotties are highly integrated into the Webflow environment, so you can control them in different types of animations, and so we can make use of that to implement it in a way that is sustainable and relatively easy to do once you get the flow. Okay, so as you can see, it's a component here. So I'm gonna detach or actually, let's see if we can build it from scratch. I think that's better for you to follow along. So let me go to this style guide page and we can build this from scratch as a separate button. Okay, I'm just gonna go to the heading here, like it doesn't really matter where we go here. So we have the text styles. I'm just gonna create a new div here. We're gonna call this a button section test. I'm gonna give it a minimal height of 100 SPH so we can see it, and a width of 100%. There you go. Then we're just gonna flex it and add a div in the middle. If there you go, that's gonna be our button div test. Okay, phenomenal. So I'm just gonna give it a width of 75% and a height of 50 SPH, so we can see it again, or let's say 75. And then we'll flex it, and then now we're gonna include the button container. It's gonna be a div first, so button test contain. Okay. All right. And so in here, we can build the button, which is going to be the button test wrap. All right. So let's start by giving it some text so we can see it. So text. This is pretty beautiful. So the button test wrap, we're going to give the test wrap some padding. Jesus Christ. So the test rep is going to contain some padding, or actually we can give it to the contain. Yeah, let's give it to the contain class. So 0.5 rem, give it on the top, the bottom, 1 rem left, 1 rem right, and then we'll give it some color so we can see it. Okay, beautiful. Here we go. So let's think about the structure and what do we even have to do here. So we have the button test contain, which has the color, and then the flow is once we click the button, the text disappears, right? And the animation fires up. So we're gonna need to overlay some elements. So we're gonna need something in absolute position here. So we can, let me think about this. We can start with the button test contain. We can set that to relative. There you go. And then we can add a div, which is gonna be the button test Lottie contain. Okay, this is gonna hold the Lottie, the animation. And we're gonna set that to absolute. We're gonna set it to full area. I'm gonna place it right behind the test rep for now. I'm gonna give it a color so we can see it. There you go. As you can see, it's overlapping it. So I'm gonna go to a button test rep. I'm gonna give it a relative position at the of 2. And if we think about it, as you can see, the contain is like we need the button test rep to overlay the logic contain. Or actually we don't have to, but we have to make its opacity 0 first. Otherwise we're gonna get to see the animation behind it. So we can set it to 0 for now. And so bear with me. Okay, so what we're gonna do is let me set the button test rep to 0 for now. Okay, just so we can see it. So the Lottie contain is gonna be in the background, which is this div. It's gonna contain the animation. So fortunately, we have a Lottie element. There you go, which is an integrated element. I already have the Lottie animation here. Otherwise, you can just upload it here. There you go. As you can see, it's in there. So we're gonna give it a class of button test Lottie. Okay. We're gonna give it a height and a width. So height of 1 rem maybe, 1.5 rem, and a height of 1.5 rem as well. And so we can put it in the middle. So we're gonna flex the contain. There you go. So we have the Lottie in the middle, and as you can see, we have the button test rep in the front. So we can, let me think, we can actually set it to display none because we're going to use it in the interaction afterwards. So by the way, the Lottie should be auto-playing, I think. Let me see. Yeah, it's using the built-in duration. I'm going to set it to loop so we can preview. There you go. Da-da-da. Da-da-da. Right, so it's just going to loop if we leave it like this. So, but I'm going to remove it. So what we can do, so there are many ways to build this, right? But so what we can do now is we can actually go straight to the animations here. I don't think we need anything else. So the idea is when you click on button test rep, or when you click on button test contain, that the text disappears and that the animation plays. So the button test rep, we're going to set that to display none, and then the contain, we're going to set that to display flex. And then we're going to add the Lottie animation to play automatically once we click on that. All right. So, yeah. Right. So, yeah. So we can go straight to the animations. I believe we don't need anything else. So we have the test, we have the test Lottie, the test rep. So what we want is button test contain when somebody clicks on that. So let's go to element trigger. We are not going to use GSAP. We're going to use the classic interactions because of the Lottie. So we're going to click on that and we're going to create a new animation. So let's say button test Lottie. Okay, something like that. Then when we click on that, let's add a height. No, actually, sorry. We have to add the right triggers. So the Lottie contain is going to be hidden by default. So hide is going to be set to none. And then we're going to show it afterwards. So we're going to set this to initial state, and then I'm going to set it to flex. Okay. And the button test strip, which contains the text, it's going to be set to show as a flex element, which it is right now. And then we can hide it once we click it. So set it to none. And then we have to play the Lottie. So I'm going to click the Lottie here. I'm going to go to actions. Here you go. We have the integration, the Lottie animation here. Then we're going to set it to play to 1% because sometimes Webflow has the Lottie appears and disappears at 0% and 100%. So you want to work with 1% and 99%. So it starts at 1%, and then once we click on it, then the animation starts. And let's say it takes 2.5 seconds, and it goes to 99%. So in 2.5 seconds, animation is going to go from 1% to 99%. And actually, that should be everything we need. So let's hit the play button. There you go. Voila. Voila. So obviously you can see here because the container is disappearing. But if we go to preview, here we go. We click on it. There you go. And we get the Lottie animation. That's it. That's all there is to it. And as you can see, easy peasy. And then obviously you can go ahead and customize the rest and add the cursor, the proper cursor, and play with opacity, play with easings, etc., etc. But this is pretty much the gist of it. And once again, click, play, and voila. That's all there is to it. So that was easy, right? Yeah, so feel free to add a little sprinkle, a little touch to your designs, to your websites, to your client projects, and I'm sure it's going to be for the best. So I hope it was understandable, it was easy to follow. If you find some value, do hit the like button, subscribe. It means the world to me, and otherwise, thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Cheers.